Where's Golden State in your mind now?
Oh, over the hill. That's where they are. You know where the hell they are, Tom.
The biggest loser in the whole thing is Steph, because they were not contenders. Now Steph is going to finish the last part of his career on a mediocre team, and that's the thing that's disheartening about it.
Charles Barkley never misses an opportunity to take a jab at Golden State, or even Steph Curry. And while he's been wrong so many times, this time he's totally right. To most people, Chuck is just the grumpy old school legend who never understood what Steph changed about the game. Barkley doubted the Warriors during their rise, and he underestimated Steph's ability to dominate without traditional size. And the result of that is, he's had to eat his own words often. But where does his issue with Steph Curry come from? And what did he get right this time?
Why do you think the Mavs are the best team?
I don't think they're the best team. I just cannot pick with the Warriors because I hate their fans. You go back to Milwaukee, Boston game 1. You go back to Dallas against Phoenix game 1. Nobody's going to overreact to the game. Hey, you're right, and y'all suck too.
From the very beginning, Charles Barkley's relationship with the Warriors has never been neutral. Long before the debates about age, roster construction, or championship windows, Barkley has always disliked Golden State. And while his tone often comes off as petty or combative, especially toward the fan base, that tension didn't come from nowhere. As the Warriors started stacking titles and redefining how the game was played, their fans became louder, more defensive, and more dismissive of anyone who said anything they didn't like. Barkley leaned into that friction, openly mocking the fan base.
Hey, let me tell you something. I'm gonna keep going at these fans. I promise you that. They gonna get all the smoke they want, my brother. They got more rings than you, Chuck. Hey, I know they do, but they got to go back to their life.
But the trash talk was never the full story. Back in 2024, Chuck made it clear how he saw the Dubs. That quote captures Barkley's true position better than any argument. He never denied that the Warriors are entertaining, innovative, or historically great. What he has always questioned is whether their style represents what championship basketball really looks like. To Barkley, cute basketball is something you admire, not something you trust when the season is on the line. And that belief, more than any personal dislike or fan rivalry, is what put him on a collision course with the Warriors and Steph from the very start.
Think about this, Dan. Let's be realistic. You know how much I love Steph Curry, correct? You think he could take that beating that Michael got against the Bad Boys Pistons? Come on, Dan. Please stop it. I mean, the game was just so much more physical.
You see, Chuck's skepticism of Steph Curry has never been rooted in skill, talent, or greatness. It has always been about survivability. Barkley grew up in and played through an era where championships were earned through force. An era where stars were targeted, worn down, and tested night after night in ways that do not exist anymore. To Barkley, Steph's brilliance has always come with a question mark attached. Not because Steph lacks toughness, but because Barkley does not believe a player built around finesse, movement, and shooting could have survived the physical toll that defined championship basketball in his time. Listen to what he said on that podcast.
When you played against those Bad Boy Pistons, you had to call your family and say, just in case I never see you again, I want y'all to know we're good. I love y'all. Because those boys are out there trying to hurt people.
That comment isn't nostalgia for violence. It's what he believes it takes. In his mind, Curry is lucky he isn't playing in an era when defenders are allowed to impose themselves and when stars have to absorb contact over and over again without breaking. In that context, Barkley has always leaned toward size, strength, and physical dominance as the foundation of championship basketball. That belief naturally put Steph Curry at a disadvantage in Barkley's mind. Just look at the people he places over Curry.
Yeah. Who do you think is who's number one?
Well, I think LeBron's the best player in the league.
Number one?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You think Kevin's number two?
I think Kawhi, Kevin, and Giannis are all right there together.
Right there.
Yeah.
All right. You don't put Steph in the top 3?
No.
Okay.
No. I love Steph, but he's not with those guys.
This wasn't hate, it was consistency. Barkley has always gravitated towards players he believes can impose themselves physically when the game turns ugly. In his mind, Steph was an all-time great who benefited from the system. And for years, Steph kept winning, kept proving people wrong, and kept rewriting what dominance could look like. But time has a way of reshaping arguments, and eventually, Barkley stopped talking about Steph's past and pivoted to the Warriors' future.
They're not going to beat the Rockets without KD, and they're not going to beat Portland or Denver without KD.
All right, so because again, we love you, what have you got to say for yourself as they have moved on?
Well, listen, nothing but kudos. First of all, I was 100% wrong, but kudos to the Golden State Warriors.
When his conviction and philosophy failed him, reality forced Charles Barkley to admit that he was wrong. But that admission was not about Steph suddenly becoming the kind of player Barkley always believed in. It was about Steph proving that there was more than one way to win at the highest level. Movement, shooting, and offensive gravity replaced brute force, and for a time, it worked better than anything the league had ever seen. And Chuck had to admit it.
The two things strike me. Steph Curry has put his name back in the conversation, Tony. When we talk about the best players in the world, we talk about KD, Giannis, Kawhi, LeBron. Steph Curry has proven to us he's a two-time MVP. He's been fabulous.
At the peak of the Warriors' run, Barkley was no longer dismissive. He was impressed. The Warriors were not winning despite Steph. They were winning because of him. His gravity created space no one else could replicate, and his conditioning allowed Golden State to weaponize pace in a way that punished traditional defenses. For a while, even Barkley was ready to admit that his philosophy was outdated. But then again, time changes all. The Warriors are no longer the team they were. Steph Curry is old, and even some Warriors fans want Steve Kerr sacked. Now the league is younger, faster, and more athletic, while Golden State aged in place. Steph did everything right, but the structure around him simply stopped being enough. And after being wrong for so long, Charles Barkley seems to have gotten it right this time.
Where's Golden State in your mind now?
Over the hill. That's where they are. You know where the hell they are, Tom.
The biggest loser in the whole thing is Steph, because they were not contenders. Now Steph is going to finish the last part of his career on a mediocre team, and that's the thing that's disheartening about it.
This is the part where Barkley's long-standing belief finally lines up with reality. You see, Golden State did not suddenly forget how to play basketball. They just aged in a league that does not forgive it. Steph is still elite, but the margins that once protected him are gone. And every game this season seems like we're watching the death of a dynasty.
They had one of the greatest runs in NBA history, but it's over, man. They're just old. Everybody gets old.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it.
The West is younger, bigger, and more relentless now. Steph can still bend defenses, but he cannot absorb the wear for an entire roster. That is the part Barkley has always emphasized, even when people did not want to hear it.
So the Warriors just old. Steph is on the Mount Rushmore, but he's gonna keep breaking down because of age and wear and tear. I don't think Jim is the same player, and Draymond's definitely not the same player. But they just got old, and there's nothing you can do about that.
This is not disrespect. This is acceptance. Barkley is not tearing Steph down. He is acknowledging the cost of time. Steph's greatness is already secure, but the structure required to win another title no longer exists. For the first time, Barkley's criticism is not about whether Steph is good enough. It is about whether this version of the Warriors can survive the modern NBA without the strength he's always believed in. For years, Charles Barkley has doubted Steph-led teams, clashed with fans, and refused to buy into the idea that a jump-shooting superstar could anchor a dynasty. And for a long time, Steph Curry proved him wrong in spectacular fashion. But time has a way of settling arguments that debate never can. So far this season, Charles Barkley has been right. The league has changed and the pieces around Steph are too old. But Steph isn't done, and he never forgets.
Clearly remember some experts and talking heads putting up the big zero of how many championships we would have going forward because of everything that we went through. So
Steph answered the doubts once. Do you think he can do it again? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more from Chuck, watch Charles Barkley was totally right about Nikola Jokic next.